How you doing, everyone? Carm Capriato, Town Hall Academy in Las Vegas right after Industry Week. And we had 3 unbelievable days. And so the only thing I could say to the listeners of the podcast is wait till you hear some of the stuff that we're going to walk away with. It's just phenomenal stuff. We had a tremendous time in the studio. And, you know, as we have done actually we started last year, Frank, at your place.
Yes.
We did a shop tour. And we're at a completely different shop here in Las Vegas, and we're gonna have a blast. I see look at that! People just keep coming in. This is wonderful, and so it's gonna be a lot of fun. We're gonna talk a little bit about the values of shop tours, and then even though you're not here, we're gonna go out and have our own shop tour ourselves. And Jennifer, you're gonna walk us through. But hey, glad you're here. You know, the reason that the podcast and the Town Hall Academy continues to be NC, that means no charge for the entire world, is to thank our sponsors. And one of them is Shopware. You know, give your customers and staff the end-to-end digital experience they deserve. It's time to upgrade your management system to Shopware. Get more profit in less time. Find out how. Get a free live demo and review of your shop owner testimonials at shop-ware.com. And in addition to the strict quality remanufacturing steps they take at Jasper, they can actually improve a drivetrain's component original design so that it runs longer and better than when it was new. Check out Jasper's featured engine and transmission pages at jasperengines.com. Well, thanks again to my sponsors and making sure that everything is perfect. Now, we just don't have 3 guests. We're going to have a bunch of guests here today. And sitting to my exact left is John Long from Shertz Automotive in Shertz, Texas. Glad you're here, man.
Glad to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
A very big kudo to you, because if anyone saw our live broadcast from the stage at Apex, where we talked about 2030 and consolidation in the industry, John Shertz and Mark Roberts were my roadies, and you know, and Vic was there and he helped, and it was amazing how it all came together. And this wire goes in that jack, and these guys were just perfect, and it was great. Frank Scandura is with us from Frank's European.
Right here in lovely Las Vegas.
Right here in Las Vegas. We were at your place last year. And our host is Jennifer Wiens from Ted Wiens Tire and Automotive here in Las Vegas. Wow. 10 shops, 10 retail locations, 1 commercial and 1 wholesale. You must be so busy.
Well, I try not to do the day-to-day stuff, but we have people that are busy.
Actually,
I need people.
Yeah,
We all need people.
yeah, you know, and that is a great answer. We can actually do a show on leadership right
Absolutely.
now if we had to.
We're busy. Don't let me fool you.
Yeah, I know you are. But thank you. We had a little bit of an internet glitch on getting here and running wires over ceiling tiles and stuff. And Vic brought me here, and thank you for helping set this up. Vic Jurassic, he'll be on a little later. Okay. So the value of shop tours, Frank.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk about last year. It was a blast. I mean, I know there's not as many here, and who knows who else is going to show up. There were about 30, maybe 25 or 30 that showed up.
Yeah.
You were a very gracious host, and great tour.
Thank you very much. And it's important because R&D, right? It does not stand for research and development. It stands for rip off and duplicate. Because some of my best ideas have come from visiting other shops and talking to other shop owners and being in my 20 group, and a little, maybe the same experience for you guys. And why not? Right? Let's learn from each other. Let's all make the industry better, because we have those 1 or 2 people. They're not licensed, or they're just not doing a good job. They're just not providing the service to make us all look bad. And it's really getting hard to overcome. It's very hard to overcome, especially in today's digital age. Let's all share and make everybody better.
So I see the progression in how shop tours evolved in our industry. We joined a business development group in town, and then we started the network, and then maybe we joined a coaching company, and we got into a 20 group. And then those 20 groups a long time ago said, hey, why don't you come to my place? And then it put them on a scrutiny list, if you will, and they started to clean, and you know, they brought their place up to a brand new level, because they were showing it off to people. And if they told them this was unkept, it was dirty, it wasn't organized, those people really knew. It was good, constructive criticism, right?
It's amazing what someone else sees when they come in for the first time, what we put blinders on to, because we're there in the heat of the battle every day, all day. And it just kind of gets by us. And we did a shop tour not long ago in a shop in Arizona. And I was really amazed that they didn't spend more time cleaning. I said, come on, they knew all of us were coming here. And I took a bunch of pictures for my portion of the presentation. And at the end, he said, I had no idea my shop looked like that.
So think about what Frank just said. We go into the shop.
You're blind to it.
We take pictures, and then you present to the group what you saw. And everybody learns from that.
Yes.
So, Jennifer, our host, so glad to have you here, and thanks for everything you're doing for us. When you've gone out on tours, what have you learned?
Presentation, what the customer sees, just coming in from an outside eye versus you're in the shop every day, so you don't see it.
Yeah.
Something as simple as the corners in the bathroom. They sweep, but they miss the corners, or wiping down the walls, or wiping off your garbage cans, little things like that.
There's two places to learn how all of that stuff works. Disney.
Yes. Boy, they have it down.
They do. And the other place that I just discovered, at the Wien.
Oh.
Because the Wien, where I stayed these last few days, it's almost perfect in every corner. You know the flowers that they do. And I mean, I saw someone
beautiful.
working. I saw someone this morning on the way here working on the grout on some of the tile floors. It's beautiful mosaic tile everywhere. They're so into detail. You can't find anything wrong. There's nothing broken. There's nothing out of place. There's no concrete. There's no paint out of whack. And so if anyone could look at these cameras, look behind us, and you can see this is a beautiful. Do you call it a showroom, a customer lobby?
Showroom.
You call it a showroom?
Yeah.
Very, very nice job.
Thank you.
John, what are you learning when you're going out there?
Just trying to, like Frank said, just R&D. That's what it's all about. Everybody's sharing information. We've got to elevate this industry. Everybody has to rise up, in my opinion. Rising tide will raise all ships on that.
That's correct. Good. Yes.
So R&D. All right. Frank, when I interviewed you, I don't know, 2-3 years ago, that was, to me, my biggest takeaway from your first episode. Yeah. Rip off and duplicate.
Yes.
So what's something that you may have stolen, a great idea?
Oh, now you're going to put me on the spot here.
I am. That's what I do. That's what I do. We can come back to you.
Yeah, come back to me on
like
that
a
one. Let me
game
think
show
of it.
host. Okay.
I'll tell you what
I'll
I
pass
did.
I'll pass on that one for the moment.
You think about that.
From
yeah.
doing tours, adding a baby changing station. You never would have thought.
No.
Yeah.
Now I have a kid and I completely
get it,
understand.
right?
I get
Yeah.
it.
But even if it's only used once every 2 months,
Doesn't matter.
it sends a
Yeah.
message, doesn't it?
That you care.
Yeah. How many bad bathrooms have you seen?
I've seen quite a few, because it's amazing. I tell you, I learned my bathroom lesson a long time ago. My grandfather was a barber, and I used to hang out at the barber shop, and I really admired him. Tell you stories sometime. Would be
Is
a
that
great
why your
interview.
hair is so perfectly coiffured?
Oh no, that's because my wife. Behind every haircut's a wife telling you get your haircut, isn't it? I don't know. So my grandfather had a customer ask, "Do you have a men's room?" He goes, "No, but I have a ladies' room," and he called it that because it didn't have a urinal, so it wasn't a men's room.
Oh.
And when the guy came out, he goes, "That was the most disgusting ladies' room I ever saw in my life," and it embarrassed my grandfather to the point where, for the first time in my life, I saw him clean something. Because imagine back in that day, my grandmother did everything. And he was so embarrassed, and it taught me that lesson that long ago. You've got to have an extremely clean restroom. My first job was cleaning a shop, and I took it upon myself to clean a restroom from that lesson.
Excellent. Anything else that you may have taken away besides the changing table?
Just making sure and paying attention to detail, like dusting the small things, keeping the magazines stacked nice and neat,
Yes.
something comfortable. Just, looking out for the customers that are hanging out while they're waiting.
Did you ever just drive to a city and, you're on vacation and the wife wants to go shopping with your credit card or your spouse, and you say, "Hey, I'm going to go knock on a door or call ahead and see if somebody wants to host me for an hour"?
I got a story on that real quick, Carm. It's also kind of what I take away from things is just be open to everybody. My partner and I this past summer were up in another city visiting a couple shops we had scheduled. Went in, saw them, learned a lot of great things. We had been trying to get a hold of another owner who just built another brand new shop that we'd seen go up. Looked beautiful facility. We could never get a hold of them. So we were in the area. We just stopped in, and they were not receptive to us at all. Did not want us there at all.
Why? Why do you think?
I don't know. I can't put a figure on it.
Secret
Finger on it.
sauce?
Yeah,
Secret
I mean, that's
sauce,
what it
huh?
is.
Some operators are afraid you're going to steal his secrets.
Yeah, and they had
We are.
a big window in their customer showroom that looks out into the lobby or into the shop. So, my partner went into the restroom, using the restroom. I'm just standing by the window, just kind of glancing out. And the guy comes up to me and goes, you're not helping your cause by looking out the window if you want a shop tour. I'm like, okay. All right. I'll move along. Thank you.
I love doing shop tours, whether it's someone
Yeah.
touring my shop and giving me an outside eye, or going somewhere else and touring it and seeing what they do differently than maybe I can adapt to my location.
Oh, I love it too. I've probably had 30 owners here to my shop this year, and I've got, I think somebody scheduled next week to come.
And how
if I
many
remember.
friends do you build along the way, right?
Oh, exactly.
Yes.
Building those relationships is key.
And taking the positive and or negative thoughts, call it criticism, call them opportunities to fix and or change. And you mentioned it before, and someone on the show, some of the recordings this week said you walk by the old style cigarette container that's out on the front door, that there's no smoking in here. So if people do smoke, we want them to, butt on the outside. And so someone stopped by and looked at it, and it was like 30 years it hasn't been touched. Maybe it was like 10 years it hasn't been touched. It's just piled high. It reeks and it smells. So if you didn't want to smell smoke in there, you got it no matter what. When you walked in the door.
When you walked past.
And that was one of those aha moments that we just don't see the paint fading. We don't see the cigarettes on the outside building up. We don't see the weeds coming. We don't see the hole in the parking lots coming. And I'm going to tell you, after coaching in 20 groups, the best ingenuity in our industry forever, would be, shop tours. I think those got to be the top 3 for just to improve your company.
I would absolutely agree.
Well, good. Hey, listen, we're gonna change some chairs here, and we'll get Vic in here, and we'll get David in here, and Jeanie, you want to come in too? Yeah, whatever. We'll change some chairs around, and while we're playing music, and thank you all. Maybe we'll have you back here near the end, but we sure want to get everyone who has come by here this morning to talk about their perspective of shop tours. And while we're doing this change here, hey, give your customer and staff the end-to-end digital experience that they deserve. It's time to upgrade your management system to Shopware. Get more profit in less time. Find out how. Get a free live demonstration and a review of shop owner testimonials at shop-ware.com. And in addition to the strict quality remanufacturing steps they take at Jasper, they can actually improve a drivetrain's component's original design so that it runs longer and better than when it was new. Check out Jasper's featured engine and transmission pages at jasperengines.com. Thanks, Jasper, for supporting the Town Hall Academy. Okay, with me, David and Jeanie Light. How you doing?
Doing great. How about you?
Good. Glad to have you here from North Carolina.
Yes, all the way out on the coast.
On the coast.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't even want to talk about hurricanes.
Oh, yeah.
Here, let's get you a little closer to the microphone, and just tip the microphone up a little bit, Jeanie, so that we make sure we get everything there from you. You work in the business?
I do.
Oh,
I do.
husband and wife team. I love
Yes.
it. Partnership.
She's the brains.
She is the brains.
Yes.
And you're the bronze.
Maybe.
Okay. Very good. Very good. And Vic Tarasic's with us. I'm sorry. Jeanie. I'm sorry. I said Jeanie, didn't I? It's Jeanie.
It's all right.
I'm sorry. No, I apologize. Thank you, Vic. Appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Vic's my producer. It seems like wherever I go, I'm always stumbling. And Vic Tarasic's with us. New company, right?
New company, Shop Owner Coach.
Shop owner coach. Vic has owned his own shop for many, many years, and he's decided to be a coach. And thank you for the help that you've given me here this weekend.
Absolutely.
So about shop tours, David, tell me about the value that you see in them.
Oh, every time I go to one, I mean, it's like I see stuff that I should be doing in mine, but it's just every time I take away something.
Every time.
Every time.
Every time.
I go back and make a list of stuff that I need to do to the shop.
So is it your power of observation, or is it just the fact that I like that idea?
I steal a lot of stuff.
Okay,
But
perfect.
it is observation. I see stuff that they do that I realize I should be doing.
Do you guys go set together usually?
Oh yeah, every time.
Yes.
Every time.
Yes.
And when you're done with the shop tour, I can't imagine the dialogue that happens.
Oh yeah.
You're going back and forth. I like this. What about that? And how you can actually take it, make it your own, and change it.
Yeah.
Give me an idea. I got to get this right, Jeanie. Give me an idea, Jeanie. Something that you implemented.
Well, the last few shop tours we have done with our 20 group, I've been on the RO audit team, and just seeing how people do their repair orders, the way you should write your stories and the 3 C's,
Okay,
you
great.
just
Who's your
always-
coaching company? Who's your group?
RLO, John
Yeah.
Moffler.
Okay, great. Okay. And so you're responsible for the RO review. So
Yes.
when you go in, if you will, the group goes into, here's my place, come in. You do the RO audit. What part do you do?
Normally I
David?
do the shop tour.
You do the shop tour.
Yes.
And you're going back there and looking at that stuff. And then when you're
Mhm.
all done, you get together and you share what you saw.
Yep.
What a great way for
Oh,
any
yeah.
shop owner to get a peer review.
Oh
Yes.
Cool.
Can be brutal sometimes.
Yeah.
It
but
can be brutal. Has it ever happened to you? Have you had one done?
September next
Yeah.
year.
So you have time to clean the house, huh?
I've been
Yes.
working on it for like 6 months already.
New drapes,
Yep.
some paint,
Yep.
some nice new pillows.
Yep.
And I digress. I digress.
Yep.
So this is very good that this came up. What are you guys working on that you know you need to improve in your own place?
We just moved into a new shop about a year and a half ago, and the shop had been neglected. So we have a lot of work to do. A lot of times my customers will tell me, "Oh, I see you working on the weekends." It's like, well, I'm not working in the shop. I'm working on the shop,
Got it.
on the weekends, because there's always something.
Got it. I lost my phone. I'm sorry. I was just looking for it. I don't know where I put it.
John has it.
Oh, I'm sorry, John took it. Okay, great. So talk to me from a shop tour perspective here, Vic.
Well, one of the things that I found was the reinspection of the vehicle that had already been completed.
Yes.
You would be amazed when you go in with open eyes, pulling a vehicle in that's supposed to have been completed, all the money that you find that's left on the table.
Really.
Yeah.
And as a shop tour group, you're actually doing that?
Yes, we will select a vehicle at random that's completed, bring it in, put it up on the lift. David, you've done it.
Yep.
Yep. Pull it on the lift, re-inspect it, and see what was missed. We compare the repair order with what we and the inspection report, and typically you're going to find anywhere from $1,200 to $1,500 worth of stuff that wasn't even on it.
Oh yeah.
Well, how much?
Yeah.
How much was yours last time, David?
Actually, the last one I did was very thorough.
Okay.
Yeah, they did an awesome job.
Yeah.
But most of the time, yeah, you do find quite a bit that's left over.
And that's one of the things that really pushed me was that's what I picked up on was getting back at that vehicle, looking at it, at least letting the customer know what was missed. And then it creates opportunity. It really does create opportunity going forward.
Yeah.
Talk amongst yourselves. I'm writing something down.
What's the, so I want to ask you, David. So and since you've been in the group, what's the worst one you've seen?
Oh, that was,
You don't have to say who it was.
That's a great question. Thanks, Vic.
yeah, it was quite a bit left over, a lot of suspension work. I mean, it was dangerous. It was not that it was, it was a customer safety was a big thing. It's not that you're trying to upsell anything like that, like you say, but it was their life, our life too, because they're meeting us going down the road.
Right.
So,
Well, and we're, the customers put their lives in our hands every time they bring a vehicle in, and we owe it to them to raise our standards as an industry. And that's what I got out of coaching was realizing that you have this customer who is giving you not their own life, but their child's life, their work life. So we owe it to them to at least let them know what they need.
So if we're going to do the shop tour here later, what are you going to look for?
I want to see how they bring the parts in and how they take them out. The cores, how they handle all that.
Talk about a time saver, money
Oh, yeah.
maker, right?
Money loser, yeah.
And if you fix the problem, it's a money maker,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, because if not, absolutely, it's a money loser. Cool. Now, do you ask particular questions while you're out there? Do you have like a favorite question or two that you ask?
I wouldn't say I really have a favorite. I just kind of try to take everything in.
Okay. Is there anything that you're working on at the shop that you want to look for here that, you know, to take an idea home?
Yeah, we're looking at changing some equipment out. I want to see what they have. So,
See,
yeah.
isn't that cool? You
Yeah.
get behind the scenes and you see what kind of equipment they have.
And if they like it.
Well, and that's how we ended up talking about you guys coming today, because
Yep.
we were talking about the tire machine over dinner last night.
Mhm.
And I'm like, well, this is a tire shop we're going to see. Well, come on.
You know what I found amazing is I talked to a bunch of people in particular who came here and bought a whole bunch of equipment for either a new shop or to, you know, finally refurbish to an alignment machine and looking at ADAS and tire changes. And people were telling me they saved thousands and thousands and thousands, that they do all their research, get all their best pricing, and then they come here and the equipment manufacturers are willing to work with you in the, if you will, Industry Week show deal. One hell of an advantage. I think you guys said it paid for your trip how many times over? 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 times they saved over the cost of just coming here. And they're building, you know, Shertz, they're building a second place. So, of course, they needed to equip it. Well, better place to come in and get that. I mean, so, you know, I love the fact that that we're here at Industry Week and we hear stories like that. And the commitment that Apex is making next year for the repair professional, you know, by creating Repair Shop HQ, a dedicated place for the service professional. I was really so happy to hear about that. Well, great. Why don't we bring in Eric and Jammie? Come on in and sit here. And Frank, I want to bring you back in the Vic seat, okay? Thank you. And let me and while we're changing chairs again, hey, you know, no other tool can transform your business like your management system. Shopware's leading shop management system is helping shops like yours generate more profit per ticket and get more efficiency from their staff. Get a free demo at shop-ware.com. More time, more profit. Hey, how many times has a customer said that a new vehicle may look and smell nice, but the reality is they come with seemingly endless monthly payments, higher license fees, and higher insurance premiums? And the better solution, remanufactured components from Jasper, means a new lease on life for your customer's trusted old friend. Thanks, Jasper, for supporting the Town Hall Academy. Go to jasperengines.com. With us is Eric and Jammie Carlson. Welcome.
Morning, Carm.
Good morning.
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
Get close to the mic. Thank you very much. I was hanging with you guys in the studio, Jammie, at least you, and then we were at a kind of a meetup the other night. And Jammie was honored, not won, but you were honored by the
very honored.
Woman in Auto Care as the Female Shop Owner of the Year. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And the shop again, is it Grand Rapids? No.
Well, it's Ervine's Auto Repair, but also Grand Rapids Hybrid. We started the hybrid side of it about 7 years ago.
Yeah, that's right. And that's why I remember Grand Rapids, because of the Grand Rapids Hybrid. And that you know, and I was actually talking to Eric the other night at Deb's play, Deb Van Battenberg's meetup. And, you know, you said, hey, we jumped on this thing early, and we're just so happy that you did.
Oh, we're thrilled. Yeah, we probably, on any given time, I would say 50% of the cars that were in our shop at any time are hybrids now.
Wow. And have you ever done a shop tour for people that want to come in and see what you're doing with hybrids?
Yes, we're when a smart group, and gee whiz, right after we joined it, about 2 months later, they came to our shop, and they're probably what a nervous wreck.
Yeah.
It's just terrible, but
Okay.
it was well worth it. But,
So they learned and you learned.
yeah, you learn a lot from them coming to your shop and pointing out all just the things that you were mentioning earlier about the cracks in the pavement, just the little things like that.
But Eric, did you look at them as, you guys are crazy, you're nuts? Or did you say, thank you, slap upside the head?
Well, no, you thank them because they've taken a lot of time and obviously money to come to your shop. They're away from their families or shops and businesses, and it's not inexpensive to travel, and they've come over there and they critique your operation, and there's no holds barred.
No holds barred. Now, did you implement most of the suggestions?
Well, almost right away, in our first visit, they all concluded that we needed to fire an employee, and about 48 hours later, he was gone. So
now that's tough.
Yeah,
We knew it, but we just couldn't
Ah.
pull that Band-Aid, but they did it for us.
Yes,
there
this
is.
happens a lot.
Are you
Yep.
kidding me?
No.
That's a standing order almost. Everybody knows that they've got a bad apple.
Well, part of what we do is interview employees, and we ask the shop owner, give us the people you want to get information from, because they don't always tell you. And it's amazing what you'll discover about an employee that, like you said, and you're not doing, but but you're not doing.
Well, we all figure we can fix things. And if we can fix cars, we could obviously what could be simpler than fixing a human being?
Yeah, some people can't be fixed though.
Oh, they never can be.
Yeah, we
That's been
toured
my experience.
We did a shop tour not long ago in Carlson City, and the gal that was a service advisor said, "I'm the best service advisor in this whole state." She wasn't. She was really, really bad. And she fired herself.
Humble
after that.
too.
Okay, help the audience understand how you walk in as a peer group and tell the employee, the team member, that you're going to sit down and interview them. How do you sell that?
Well, the shop owners pick those people in advance, and he's to tell them, please be open with them. They're here to help. They're here to make the shop better for everybody. And it never fails, right? So people are intimidated and afraid to speak to their bosses, but they'll just throw up on the table of somebody who they think really won't let them get caught or be in trouble. And they're not in trouble. We're not trying to make anybody feel bad. We're trying to make the company better. How do we make the company better? So I will come down and sit and talk to you and be real casual. And how's this? And how's that? And what about this? And you'd be surprised what they will tell you. They'll give information. And how many times a shop owner, I had no idea.
How do you
No
start?
idea.
How do you start? You sit down with somebody and says, "Hey, I'm Frank. He invited me here. We're here with this group, or I'd like to know because I want to take information back for me." What's the premise?
So there's a lot of questions that we'll ask. Do you know, what's expectations of you? Do you know about this process? Do you have any opportunities to grow with the company? Do you
Okay.
know
All right.
what's going on? Things like that.
Got it.
Do you want to grow? Where do you want to be? How do you like working here? What would you change if you were the owner?
And Eric, was that the premise on how they discovered this issue you had? Or did they just feel it when they came in?
Sometimes it's obvious.
I think Jamie could probably answer that better than I could. You interview the employees far more in depth than I do, and I think you get a more honest answer than they want to please me, and that's not what we want. So once you chime in.
Well, and I think it was actually our very first meeting with them. We weren't even members. And I said, let's just both write down the 5 things we have to do. We had a list, and one was fire someone. We liked him. It's not only do you want to save someone, or we know there's a technician shortage, but it has to be a good fit for the people who are all working there together. And sometimes you have to set them free to go do what they really should be doing.
Right.
And sometimes it's not working on vehicles.
A culture problem you had.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, except we liked him.
Yeah.
And, he liked everybody. So it was kind of sad.
But let me ask you a question. Do you ever notice the guys that we like the most, who are the most likable, need the most correction and seldom do the job right?
Oh, that's why you had to go.
Well, that's why they're likable, though. They've learned how to push those buttons, and I'm going to say those things, and I'm going to be nice, I'm going to smile, and it's like 51st days, I call it, where it's like every Monday we have to go over this process again. We have to go over everything again. Why are we having this discussion again? Why are we doing this again?
He gobbled up so much of my time that when he was gone, it was like a weight had been lifted off our shoulders, and
And
with
Frank-
one less body
yeah,
in there,
yeah.
we produced more work.
I've been there myself, and the deal is that the team is waiting for you
To act. Yes, they are.
to act.
Boy, isn't that the
Yeah.
truth? Yes.
It is the act. And then once that happens, and I've heard this story over and over again, they say, "Okay, you're back on the top of my list, guys. We're back loving you, but before we were wondering why you were putting up with it." Yeah.
And I think being in either a 20 group, or for us, it's our smart group, operating more by the numbers, which is not, I don't want to be just a numbers person, but you do have to have those benchmarks that you can go back to and say, but this is not working. And Bill, our leader of our smart group, well, I like his phrase of, we all have to take care of this business so this business can take care of all of us.
Good.
And
I
it
like
just, it's not, I don't know, 20 years ago, I may have thought it's kind of greedy to like want these margins and just make all this money. No, it's what we need to do to be able to elevate our shops, to be able to pay employees more. I found something from 10 years ago that said like what gross profit on parts should be. And I remember when we went to that seminar, we thought, oh, sure, we're just going to gouge our customers. No, it's what it needs to be to operate a business.
Good for you for realizing that and making the change.
Kevin Eckler, you probably know him. He's with your team, and he, in my first interview with him, marriage, divorce, 10 years of losing all this money, finds the coaching stuff, and I think it was 4 or 5 months ago. He says, "I wrote the check for my daughter's first year of college." And he was so happy about that because he knew he could have never done it had he not gotten a coaching company, attended shop tours, been part of you call them smart groups. It's the same thing as a 20. And it's so great to hear those stories that people have, marched themselves over the line in their life and were willing to go out and say, I'm not the smartest banana in the bunch, and I should be hanging around with people smarter than me. And so I'm willing to take down that concrete wall that I've put up that says I'm smart and I'm the best at everything that I do. I'm so glad you brought that up. I like to talk about that every 3 weeks on the podcast because, I always feel that maybe we can drill a hole in some of the stubborn heads in our industry and kind of put the funnel up and pour some of that wisdom down. And I know it's working, by the way, because when I'm out in public and I meet people and they say, thank you for drilling into us. And, we've been listening and we've been learning and we've been actually stretching ourselves beyond our belief because we're spinning in a negative vortex. And I call it the rule of holes. And the rule of holes says is that you need to know when to stop digging.
Yes.
If not, there's never going to be light ever at the top of the tunnel, at the top of the hole. So, I want to ask a question about you guys were under the bubble when you brought the group over, but now that you've gone out to other tours, I'm sure you have, what have you taken back?
Well, at first, they have all either built beautiful new facilities or remodeled facilities. It's very intimidating when we go in the one we've been in for 25 years and it's small. I think for a garage, it's pretty nice. But it's just kind of overwhelming, I think, when we went at first, and it's like, we are just not in the same league here. But they are so honest and open. And when everybody's numbers are up on the board every month, you have to be honest that I think we just learned from them.
Well, and it's like moving into a neighborhood. You don't want to have the nicest house in the neighborhood. And we certainly didn't when we joined that group. So I think we elevated our game and saw some very dramatic results because you're learning from people that have got they're doing minimum $1 million a year and some way past that. And when you're not at the time, you can learn an awful lot from guys that have done it and know how to do it.
And they're not afraid to admit that they were in a tough place one day.
Oh, they all were.
Everybody. You see, that's the thing that I don't believe. When we look at the essential players of our industry, let's call it the top 20%, they were ugly in the bottom.
They were the bottom 20% at one time.
They were. And that's why there's hope. That's why there's hope for our industry. And that's why we tell these stories all the time. And that's what we convince. Oh, by the way, I found out you're going to add 4 bays.
Yep.
And is there any major remodel for, like, how's your showroom? Happy with your showroom and everything?
No, it's very, very small.
Okay.
So a little. We have loaner cars, so we don't. We like to be alone during the day.
This place looks like a mansion to you, right?
Oh my goodness.
We don't do much waiting service though. I mean, we do tires for our customers. We do oil change services for our customers. So it's usually much more beneficial for them to take a loaner car and go for the day.
Cool.
But there is a remodel for upfront too. That's all part of the plan.
Okay. All right.
So,
hey,
yeah,
we're getting ready to conclude. So I want to do one thing. Eric, I want to change you out for Jennifer again. Oh my God, I'm bringing you back on. So I want to have the 2 ladies on, okay?
It's been fun, Carm. Thank you very much.
Okay. Hey, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
While they're changing, you've seen my showroom, Carm, and it's beautiful and it's marble and it's decorated to the nines.
Yeah.
And we don't want them waiting either. So it's not a matter of how big or small. they're waiting for their
Yeah.
car no matter where they're at. I would prefer they wait for their car at home or at work or at the mall.
I agree with that.
There you go. See?
Yeah, and so here, this is a great analogy. Frank's looks like the Win in front. It sure just does.
Frank's is beautiful.
Yeah, go
Thank you.
back. Just go to my website. Type in Frank Scandura or Shop Tour, and you'll see the episode and look at it. We've got a really neat picture there of Frank's plays, or just look you up on the website, right?
Or come visit.
Or come.
I invite people all
Yeah,
the time.
yes, you do.
It's open door.
And you know, here's Jennifer saying she's got this beautiful. I mean, it's just beautiful.
Yes.
But we don't want people to wait. And you've got enough chairs to have a wedding here. Okay. I mean, I'm going to guess we really goofed you up here and moving tables around and stuff, but there has to be 20 chairs. And you can only have 1 or 2 waiters at a time. But it looks inviting. It looks comfortable. It's like, hey, you know, hang out. TV, coffee,
Wi-Fi.
everything. You're doing everything right, but we don't want them to wait. So that's a great strategy. Invest in the feel, in the look, invest in looking for success.
A lot of people go by appearance, first appearances. Just back to Frank in the bathrooms. They go in the bathroom. Well, that place is dirty. I'm not going back there.
Yeah.
Forget about the service on their vehicle or how you treated them.
Yeah.
If they don't like the way you look, they're not going to come back.
And they'll never say anything.
Yeah.
You'll never know. They just won't come back.
I'll never forget, we were on a road trip, and Ann, my wife, had to go potty, and we left. We left. We didn't eat there.
Right? There you go.
There's
See?
I mean,
Or
especially.
you use the bathroom and leave.
Yeah, well, yeah. I think that's what happened. I think she says that we're out of here. So anyway, thanks so much. Appreciate the invite.
Thank you.
What do you plan on showing us? Anything really new, neat, and exciting we should see?
You know, I'm just going to take you on a tour. We have my retail site here is 16 bays. I have a 2,500 square foot training facility upstairs that we do all our employee training.
Ooh, I can't
an
wait
area.
to see that.
We have our commercial location out back.
Yeah.
And then we also have one of our warehouses here that you guys will be able to see.
Oh,
very
great.
cool. Okay.
I'm excited. Anyone here have any questions that they would like to know or any discovery here? While we take the wonderful next step here. God, one day we should be able to put a camera on our shoulder, Frank, and kind of walk around with a long cord. And
That's kind of what phones are for nowadays, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe what we should do is figure out how to link that to what we're doing here. All right, how about you and I work on that?
I'm ready.
Okay, man. Hey, well, it was great. Thank you for everyone who's been on, and lucky us, we're going on a shop tour of Ted Wiens Tire and Auto here on Wigwam Street Avenue in Las Vegas.
Road.
And thank you again so much
Wigwam.
Could be anything. Yes.
Thank you for having us here and interrupting your entire showroom and your
been a pleasure.
ceiling tiles to get us bandwidth here. So it was great. And for everyone, next Thursday, this will be published as a podcast, and we'll republish the video too. So thank you all for being here. And anyone who's hanging with us on Facebook, share this. We'd love it.
Thank
Carm,
you.
thank you for what you do for the industry.
Oh.
I don't know if you get that enough.
Thanks, Frank.
I'd love being
Appreciate
a part
that.
of this.
Wow,
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Carm.
It's not about me. It's about you guys. Thank you, though. Thank you. Appreciate it.